All right, Janice, you have in front of you, you have some reviews of Brunonia Barry's
New book.
new book. Why don't you tell us some of the
I'm
what
going to
some
read this
people
one
say?
from the Kirkus Review. A novice psychotherapist finds unsettling parallels between a patient's suicide and her mother's history in Barry's second novel. This woman in jeopardy thriller, retooled with gothic elements, shifting identities, secrets, and portents, a deserted cottage and a missing suicide note manages to transcend. Well, as I said before, it has a lot of history set on the North Shore and mostly in Salem. But I haven't read it yet, and I've got to get it read before Thursday. I'm really looking forward to it, but I should have had it done before.
This is quite. I mean, this is it sounds like a riveting piece here. And let's talk a little bit about some of the other. You have this whole series.
Right.
And
We've
here's
been
the
doing
series.
it since January.
You've been doing it since January.
Yeah.
And you started out with the Gloucester Suite and Other Poems by Eric Schoonover.
Yeah, and then the big one was Alyssa East for the Dogtown book, which is a wonderful book, and everyone in Gloucester should read that sometime.
Is that what the murder or something?
It starts around the murder of Ann Natty in 84. I don't want to say the wrong day, but maybe that was it. And it's the underlying theme in the book. However, she talks about colonial history in Dogtown right down to the present, and she brings in just present day Gloucester. And for a person that isn't a Gloucester person to be able to have gleaned what she has and get it right, it's just an amazing book. She came here and worked on it for 10 years. So we love the book. It was a great Gloucester book.
That's a book to put, like someone from out of town or in town coming to Gloucester for the summer wants a beach reading book. That's the book to get.
It is, if they want to really understand the soul of Gloucester and how what's going on here. And Anne's murder is very tragic. The first chapter is almost unbearable to read. It's very sad. But then the rest of the book is finding the person who did it and the trial and everything. But as I said, it's also about present-day Gloucester and old times.
She ties that all together.
Yeah, it's just incredible how she does that. And then the next thing that's coming, you were going along here. We had David McAvini reading from his book, Kipling in Gloucester. Unfortunately, it's out of print, but it was part of that Captain's Courageous Festival.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had Patrick Dowd, who works here. He had his book launched at our bookstore. It's a fantasy.
My nephew BJ Mohan.
Yeah.
He's reading it right now, and he says he loves it. So.
Yeah, the young adults love it. Great fantasy book. And then we had Ray Bentley, who publishes poetry books under his publishing company called Folly Cove Books. And he had all of these local poets reading from the book. They all wrote the book, rather.
Oh, okay, yeah. They all contributed to it.
And then now we have Brunonia Barry coming Thursday. And then we have Sebastian Younger coming on June 4th. He'll be reading from his new book, just entitled War, and it's about the 2 years he spent in Afghanistan.
Now, and right after he comes, we should, Linda Greenlaw is coming.
Right.
And we should talk about what we had discussed earlier, that these people don't have to come to Gloucester.
They don't have to come to a little itty-bitty Gloucester bookstore.
But why, what do you
because
think it is?
Because they're in Miami, they're in California,
New York.
they're at Barnes & Noble. But they pretty much do a launch in our bookstore.
Yeah.
They just have such an affinity and such a connection here.
That says
look at Sebastian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it says
his whole career.
But they don't have to. And
No,
for them to come,
not.
it's huge.
And then when I talk to their publicists in New York, and I'll say, well, this is the bookstore in Gloucester, and I'll say, well, this is the town, and they go, oh, we know. We know who you are.
That's pretty cool.
We know about Gloucester.
Oh, that's great.
They treat you really well.
All right. So
after
Sebastian is Linda's book, Seaworthy.
Linda Greenlaw has her new book, and it's about when she was fishing and got arrested because they claimed she was fishing in Canadian waters. So I'm dying to hear her side of that story.
Right.
She was put in jail, had to pay a big fine and everything.
I know.
Little Linda.
I had a couple of my lobstermen that used to fish with her. They were talking to her at the time, so it'll be interesting to hear, read it through the books version of what how it all went down.
Right, right. And then our season will be over, and we'll be just gearing up for all the visitors to Gloucester this summer.
Yeah. All
But
right.
we do that twice a year. Usually we do it in the fall and the spring. We have a reading series.
That's great. All right, Janice, thank you so much.
This book, this is a great little gem.
what
This
do we
just
have?
came out. People are loving that. And we're going to have that person here on June 10th at 7 p.m. The
Paul St. Germain.
Right. He pulled the book together, did the text, and gathered all the photos. And he's a resident of Cape Ann, so he'll be here to talk about.
You can get any of these books here at the Bookstore of Gloucester.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Janice, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.